Hi Chris, what can you tell me about the Order of the Scarlet Cord?
Well, it very much depends on what you want to know about the Order of the Scarlet Cord, of course. But I can tell you that it's the fastest growing order administered by Mark Mason's Hall. We in the province of Cheshire and North Wales have grown 30% since COVID. The order is growing at a similar rate. Our current rate of growth is round about, in Cheshire and North Wales, is round about 6%. So it's growing everywhere and growing really well. Now, the question you might want to know is, why is this order called Scarlet Cord? And there's a simple reason for that, and that is an integral part of the regalia is a scarlet cord. So that's how we've got that. Something about the background. The origin of the order was somewhere in the 18th century, according to some old manuscripts that were discovered in the Amsterdam Museum archives. And not a lot is known about that at that time. But then, round about 1889, it had a bit of a rebirth. And the reason for that is that in the Order of the Secret Monitor, there were a group of very wealthy members of the order who decided that they would create their own little exclusive group to raise a lot of money for Masonic charities. And they call themselves the Scarlet Cord. And that ran on from then until about 1929, when obviously the First World War and economic recession meant that there weren't quite so many wealthy chaps in London who were prepared to put their hands in their pockets. So it faded away. And then later on, very recently in some respects, it got a bit of a rebirth. And that was in 2010, when a group of people got together. They got the old manuscripts from Amsterdam, but rewrote a lot of the ritual and then created the Order of the Scarlet Cord as we now know it. So that's something to do with the background. Now, the order itself, its units are called consistories. The head of the unit is called the president. It has 6 grades. The first 3 grades are worked in the consistory of the member, but the other 3 grades are worked in London. They are fantastic ceremonies. They are really something to watch. And they're worked by the Grand Team, the Grand Summers, the Deputy, and the Assistant, together with other Grand Team members. So if you're looking at Masonic spectacles, there is not one better at all. Really is very, very special. Another special element of it is that you cannot become president until you have gone through what's called a preparation ceremony. And the preparation ceremony is a specific ceremony to prepare an individual for the role of president. And when he's gone through that ceremony, he gets a patent saying he's gone through, signed by the Grand Summers, the head of the order. So it's very special because you get a patent even before you've gone into the chair. So it really has got a lot of special little features. It also has a very distinctive jewel. It's one of the most distinctive jewels in Freemasonry and is quite coveted. And I'm just going to hold it up now against my cheek so you can see it. You see it?
Yeah.
So that jewel is one which, as I say, is quite coveted, and it can be used and worn in OSM conclaves. So in your OSM conclave, you can wear that special jewel. And it's also a bit of a recruiting tool, because people will come up to you and say, "What's that?" And you can tell them what it is. So again, it's special. The only other thing I particularly want to mention is cost. Everybody wants to know about cost these days. And the cost is very, very cheap, because there's virtually no regalia that you need. And the only time you really need to put your hand in your pocket is to buy the jewel of the 3rd grade, that one. So it's a small order, but it's making very great headway in Freemasonry. I hope that helps you.
And how does this order fit in with the established orders of the Craft, Royal Arch and the Mark narrative?
Good question. It is one of the orders which is recognised by Mark Mason's Hall. It is an order which is now being recognised by Grand Lodge and Craft, because of this new rapprochement between Craft and Mark Mason's Hall. And it is really very closely linked to Secret Monitor, because you cannot join Scarlet Cord unless you're a prince in OSM. So again, there is the link there, and of course you can't be in OSM unless you're in the craft, so there is that link. But as far as the rituals are concerned, it's very different. It does not have any real link with Craft Chapter or the Mark. If I say to you that the 1st grade of the order is a story from the Old Testament about Rahab the harlot, looking after the Jewish spies when the representatives of the king of Jericho were trying to find them. And the rest of the ritual is various grades, various stories from the Old Testament. So the 2nd grade is about Ruth, who eventually, of course, was the grandmother, I think, of Boaz. So all those things are linked, and they're standalone little stories in their own right. But as far as Mark ritual is concerned, or Royal Arch, there isn't really a particular connection.
And how large is your province, and how many consistories does it have, and where do they meet?
Right, good question. As far as the province is concerned, it is the province of Cheshire and North Wales. We have consistories in Chester, Wrexham, Mostyn, Macclesfield and Rhyl. As I mentioned earlier, we are growing, and we have a new consistory being consecrated in Bangor in October, and we've got a new one in Mid Cheshire, well on the way to being consecrated sometime in 2026. Now, as far as members are concerned, we currently have 95 members. The lodges, or consistories as we call them, have 15 officers. Now, some of the units are quite small, so just sometimes people have to double up, or visitors have to assist. But it's very vibrant at the moment.
And how many officers are there in each consistory, and how often do they meet?
The number of officers is 15. Most of the consistories will meet 2 or 3 times a season. So that's another reason why it is very cheap to be a member, to be honest, because there aren't all that many meetings.
So as I have yet to join the order, what qualifies me for membership, and where can I find more information on the Order of the Scarlet Cord?
Right, well, what qualifies you for membership is being a prince in the Order of the Secret Monitor. And obviously you would have to be a member of the craft. There are various ways that you can join, because you will get information direct from our provincial recorder, you'll get information from the website, you get information from me, and we also have a bespoke recruitment officer who is visiting all the OSM conclaves, spreading the word of Scarlet Cord. He's the assistant provincial summers, and his principal role is to recruit.
Chris Welton, thank you very much.
Thank you.